This is the Colombia Calling podcast. I am your host, Richard McColl, here in Bogota, Colombia, 2,600 meters closer to the stars. We have two guests on the show this week, and we're going to be discussing travel. And I know all of you out there enjoy travel, and especially the listeners in the United States planning on coming to Colombia. But we've got, well, one of our sponsors, that's Bruce McLean from B&B Colombia Tours. He's in the coffee zone. And we've our very special and first time listener and, well, interviewee, Nina Schlieper, is in Cartagena. And yes, we're talking about Cartagena. Her company is Alternative Travel Cartagena. So yes, we're going to get into the deep down, dirty and gritty about Cartagena and why you should visit that city. So both of you, welcome on the Colombia Calling podcast.
Hello, Richard. Thanks for having me.
Well, no, you're most welcome. Bruce, you're always a popular guest on the show, so we're going to keep you to one side. But I know that your company has been booming and you work almost exclusively, let's say exclusively, with Nina there in Cartagena. And I think it's important to put into context Cartagena. It is the eternal city of Colombian tourism. It's the place that has been receiving tourists in Colombia for 30 plus years. It's easy to manage. For example, when I got married in Cartagena all those years ago, my friends came and I just said, stay in the walled city, because none of them spoke Spanish. So I said, if you hit the wall, turn around and come back. Because their Spanish was limited to ordering a beer and meatballs, bizarrely, but never mind that. Yes, there's another story there. But Cartagena makes the pages of all the travel magazines. It's a wonderfully picturesque, kind of fairy tale, colonial and republican city right there on the Caribbean. And, the UNESCO World Heritage sites are well known. I sometimes feel that it's the tourism promotion on Cartagena is too much. We keep going on. But Nina, you're from Frankfurt and you've now been there for 15 years. How did you end up in Cartagena?
Yeah, that's a very funny story, Richard. Thanks for inviting me today. Cartagena, it's obviously the most beautiful city of Colombia here at the Caribbean coast. And I visited several times in 2000, 2001, 2002. And you won't imagine, but 2010, I met a guy from Cartagena in Frankfurt. And he lived with me in Frankfurt for 1 year. And he told me that the people are too cold and my country is too cold. The weather was too cold. And he asked me to move. And here I am, and I stayed.
Well, so you're the reverse of everyone else.
Yeah, not the typical backpacker program. I passed by and I stayed. No, they brought me here intentionally.
Yeah, you were imported to Cartagena then.
Exactly.
I don't know. I agree with that. I think the exoticism of Cartagena, the warmth of Cartagena, not just the actual heat outside, but the warmth of the people, very attractive.
Yes.
So you've been, 15 years is a long time in Cartagena. So you are now a local, which makes a difference.
Yeah, and I'm actually living in a fisherman village close to the city center. And this is one of the less touristical part, but only 20 minutes from the city center. And this is the area where we built up many projects and many experiences co-created with the locals. When I came to Cartagena, and then we moved 2011. And next year, at the beginning of next year, I'm going to have my anniversary for 15 years in Cartagena. And when I came here, I felt that Cartagena is very commercial. I studied tourism, professional tourism, and I came here and I thought I need to do something that the people can see what I see, the people can feel what I feel, and to show the most beautiful thing of Cartagena, and it's their people. And it's very important to be in touch with the locals. And I felt that everybody is selling at the clock tower the same and selling the low budget commercial traditional tours. And I felt very bad in this condition because I'm white, I'm from Germany, and I thought I need to do something that the people can feel this high hospitality and the quality of the people, and the people are very happy to have visitors, but maybe not only in the city center, where you have to go a little bit outside of the city center.
Well, you're very much on message there. I like it very much. Do you live in La Boquilla? Is that where you're living then?
Exactly. It's a small fisherman village. The beach starts with the big hotel Las Americas next to the airport. And then it's like 10 kilometers beach down direction to Barranquilla. And this is a fisherman village with about 20,000 inhabitants in different parts and the long beach. And the people are mainly living from fishing and from tourism now. And we are preparing the community to receive visitors from abroad.
So this is the important thing, as you mentioned. Everyone's selling the clock tower. Everyone's selling the photos of the palenqueras. That's the lady with the bright dresses and posing with the fruit on their heads. Everyone's selling, I guess it's the Plaza de la Inquisición and all of these areas, which
Yes.
are all worth seeing. I mean,
Yes.
let's get that out there. It is incredibly beautiful to see. But what you're getting at is the important thing, is that we need tourism that actually reaches the local communities in Cartagena, because, as you said, when you got there, who's got the noise behind them? Is that Cartagena?
No, that was me. So my motorbike went past. Hang on, I'll put mine on.
It's all right. It's all right. It's Colombia. There's always noise. But that's okay. I think, the downtown, the historic center is definitely worth seeing. The sophistication of the restaurants, the sophistication of what is on offer in terms of boutique designer shops and fashion. But
Yes.
you do need to step away from it, as you are suggesting. The commercial nature it can be very overwhelming because it's all directed at the tourist. So what have you done then to prepare people in La Boquilla for tourism?
Yeah. First of all, I really want to tell you that Cartagena is much more than the city center, much more than Playa Blanca, Rumba and Chiva, Volcán Tutumo, all these different experiences. And if you have experienced the traditional tours and you tell you really visited Cartagena, you're wrong. It's very important to see more of the beaten
Yes.
track and not to be just in town and by the traditional experiences. In La Boquilla, we started with the Fisherman Association.
Mhm.
And after that, we started with a very interesting woman empowerment project. I'm leading for 12 years now this project. The machismo is very strong in La Boquilla because they are all African descendants. And it's very heavy for the woman, well, in my opinion, to live in this environment because they're not supposed to leave their houses. They are not supposed to play football. They are not supposed to play the drums. They are not supposed to be out in the mangroves, go fishing. They are not supposed to work. They just should stay at home to attend men and children, clean up, wash, and do all the traditional tasks. And this Women Empowerment Project, we are running now 12 years. And at the beginning, it was very interesting because in my country, women are leaving their houses whenever they feel they want to. And then here in La Boquilla, they ask for permission and it's just denied. So you're not going anywhere. And they didn't understand my world, and I didn't understand their world at the beginning. It was very interesting. And then after some years, I told them to show to visitors from abroad what they are doing. And they started to tell their story. So what was the development with the project, working handicraft out of coconut, and how they could be liberated from the machismo. And now that they are earning money with their handicrafts, then the men already agreed that they leave their houses because they are creating a support and creating their own income now. And we are offering a coconut workshop. That's the name of the project. That came out from this project, and they tell their stories. They are very, very nice. They have very good energy. They are really warrior women. They are fighting for the community. They already educated many, many other women. And they tell their stories of the last 14 years. And they afterwards, they do necklace, keychain holder, bracelet, together with the visitors. And it's a cultural immersion. It's very beautiful. With the Fishermen Association, we are working in a project that's called Fishing with the Locals. So they teach the traditional way of artisanal fishing in the lagoon of La Boquilla, Ciénaga de Juan Polo and Ciénaga de la Virgen. And we also have a kayak tour in the mangroves. And it's bird watching and also the mangrove tour. So it's all about the ecosystem. We are cleaning up the mangroves. We are seeding new mangroves, reforesting the mangrove forest. And they are very, very open-minded to all the visitors because they are very aware of the situation that that's their environment to work and to live. And it's also where the food is coming from. So they learned how to take care of this. This is our environment project. And the other one is African heritage. We have two cultural corporations in La Boquilla. They are drum schools, and each one has more than 100 children, because the most dangerous thing is that the children are on the streets. So it's like a protected area for them, and they take the excuses of playing the drums to have them in. And they learn about values, culture, African heritage, and they learn how to play the indigenous flutes. They learn how to play the African drums. And there we are offering drum workshops. This is very interesting to be part of the cultural cooperation. And the last one is very young. Just last year, we started with the last project. It's a foundation that's called Fundación Talentos y Estrellas del Caribe. So Talents and Stars of the Caribbean, and it's a football project. The visitors are coming to the beach of La Boquilla and play against the locals. At the beach side, they think that they go to a poor neighborhood where the big stars of football like Luis Diaz, Falcao, James Rodriguez are born. And they have the national hymn of the visitors, the national hymn of Colombia, the judge, the water boy, and also the paramédicos. And it's very interesting because it's a cultural immersion, but it's sport. And I'm talking to two men, so I don't have to explain the emotion of football. It's every country that has a football object and value, they love it because they have their sweats, their shirts from the country, and it's really, really, really a lot of fun. And you don't even need a translator for this.
No.
The people here, they are so proud when they have visitors from Europe or from the United States, mainly, are coming here to La Boquilla, and they are very proud to show, and they are very proud that somebody's interested in what they are doing. And that's the thing I like most, because in the city center, they don't tell you, well, not many people will tell you, thanks for being here, thanks for visiting us. But in La Boquilla, it's different. In La Boquilla, they are happy. So they are cleaning up in the morning early. We are going to have some visitors for today. And they are very happy to receive them because they are proud that somebody's interested in what they have to show.
I love this. And when you were listing those different projects, the fishermen, the empowerment, and the handicrafts, I was like, oh yes, and the African heritage. And I was like, she's got to move on to football at some point. There's going to be a football. And it's because it's ubiquitous, obviously, of the region. I can see that as being very fun indeed. And I imagine the local boys and girls, they win every time, right?
And from Denmark, and it was mixed up, women and men, and they win. Yeah, it was really, they didn't like me so much because they said that the groups I'm bringing are not so good because nobody wants to lose. The foreigners have been very happy. You know what? The football players at the beach, they're training every week 5 times in the sand without shoes. So they are physically very strong. And the advantage of this game was that the foreigners, they played with shoes. Yeah. And then, and they had a very, very high technical advantage. And it was even worse because, as I told you, La Boquilla is full of men and machismo, and a mixed group with women. So can you imagine these blonde girls with blue eyes, goal. So, the locals, they were like really,
Yeah,
Angry.
but it's a good experience. It's a good experience. That's empowerment as well, right
Yeah,
there. To
it
see
was
that
a lot of fun. It was a lot of
yeah.
fun, and the whole community get united there in the football court at the beach, and it was really a lot of fun. And the people were talking about this for like 3 months. It was really, really interesting.
I like this very much. No, the ones that the other project that really interests me, of course, is the one of African heritage,
Yes,
and of course the musical instrument, the drum, direct from Africa, obviously now used in the different cumbia and mapale and all of the different musics, the different there on the Caribbean coast. Do you also talk about the heritage of obviously the heinous heritage of slavery and the history, and perhaps trace where the local people may have originated from?
yes, exactly. First of all, La Boquilla is a territory that's possessed by African descendants, and it was in danger for many years because the people don't have the money to buy the paper for their to possess their ground. In Colombia, it's very interesting because when you possess a ground, territory, after 10 years you are the possessor, but you're not the owner. It's not your property. That's La Ley 70, the 70th law, and it's on the Pacific and also on the Caribbean side. So when the Las Americas, the big hotel chains came, now we have Radisson, Holiday Inn, Las Americas, and big hotels here. They took all the territories of these people. And Barack Obama came in the Cumbre de las Americas in a big convention and bought and gave all the ground papers to the people of La Boquilla, and now they could defend their territories here in La Boquilla because it was in danger to disappear. So what they did is to take the drums and defend with drum demonstrations, defend the territory. And this is what they explain in the story when in the introduction part of the drum workshop, because the people need to know why the drum is so important. Where is it coming from? It was a communication form of the African slaves. Here in all the Caribbean area, they communicate via drums. And also to defend 20, 30, 40 years ago, this territory of the fisherman village La Boquilla in Cartagena. And they were able to defend, and now it's not anymore in danger. That's very interesting.
I didn't know that President Obama came through from. The one story I know about his visit is that the people from San Antero in Cordoba gave him a donkey, and he graciously accepted it and said, "Well, keep it here."
Yeah.
Keep it in San Antero. That's the story I know because I go to San Antero a couple of times every year.
To the Donkey Festival, yeah?
Well, I don't go to the Donkey Festival, but I go with a different agency, and I always tell the story of the Donkey Festival and the Barack Obama. But now I will also include your story there about Barack Obama, getting what would you call it? The licensing for the land, the permissions to own the land, the paperwork.
Yeah, it was
as well.
a symbolic paper to own your ground. Because they don't have any paper.
No.
They just came here, possess, and then they have like 60, 80, 100 years of possession, but it's not a written paper. And nobody has the money in the fisherman village to go to the city center and do the paperwork. He gave all the symbolic ground papers, collective ground papers to the people.
I like this very much. I have a question for you, Nina, in this one. When you arrived first to live in La Boquilla, was it expected of you to stay at home, cook, and clean? Is that what everyone expected of you as well as a new arrival?
Yeah, it's a little bit private story, but that the Colombian boyfriend I had in Germany, he was very handsome in Germany. And when we came here, his mother asked me to stay at home and wash and everything. And that was actually the reason. I hope they're not listening to this podcast. But anyway, that was the reason why this relationship did not has the best happy end, because after 2 years I left Colombia. I went back to Germany because the reason why I was in La Boquilla did not exist anymore. And he was the reason, and I left. And after 3 months, I missed Colombia so much, so I came back on my own.
Oh, Well, I'm sorry to delve so much into your personal life there, but I just thought of the empowerment and so on. And again, you talked about the machismo, the machista society.
Yes.
It's going to apply to you as well, being in that environment. What's fascinating here is for those of you who watch us on YouTube, and there's not very many of you. Bruce's face is one of admiration because he knows that that Nina is doing an incredible sale for La Boquilla. So I can see that Bruce is so very happy with his operator in Cartagena right now.
I love La Boquilla. I was there like a couple of months ago, I think, and when met Nina for lunch as well, or a bit before lunch. But yeah, absolutely love that area. It's beautiful beach, and it's not like like Nina mentioned, Playa Blanca and Boca Grande, where there's street sellers and vendors just pushing and trying to force you to buy something. Here, have some oysters that have been on my tray for the last 12 hours. It's not like that. It's nice. It's a nice area, really nice.
Yeah.
So
it's
they're
less
not
much unspoiled and not explored. That's the beautiful thing. And Richard, you know that it was not easy when I came here to La Boquilla because I lived in the south of Cartagena at the beginning, and I took the buses to check out the whole beach side. And I thought, it's very touristical. It's very heavy. It's very heavy. And one day I took the bus from the south of Cartagena 2 hours to the north, and I came to La Boquilla, and the people were so friendly, and they talked me about the birds, how fishing at the best time with the moon, and the birds are moving from right to left, and it was very interesting. And I went there next week, and till I decided to stay in this area because I like the people so much. And it took me some years that they started to trust, because it's not easy for them, a white woman coming to a vulnerable neighborhood, and have some good ideas for them. It took some time that they started to trust in me, and they started to start the project with me, because they thought that I wanted to take advantage of them, and I just want to make money with them. But I'm staying, when I'm finishing my office work, I'm staying with them anyway the whole afternoon because they're all my neighbors. And when they started to trust me, then it became a very, very beautiful relationship, because they thought, okay, we can earn money. She's doing this for us, and we are all together in the same team. And then it became really, really a beautiful energy.
But this is the thing. It should take time for you to
Yes.
win over their confidence and trust. You're not coming in to exploit. You're coming in to work with and alongside them. And then you have the know-how to connect to the international community. And they know that as well. But it's like they don't want you to come in and then leave straight away. And it seems to me that you're not going anywhere. You're very comfortable in that situation there. The fishing tour that you take out, they fish with nets in the laguna, in the Ciénaga?
Yeah, there are some caves. It's called nasas, and it's from metal thin, and they made a cave, and they put it on
Cage.
Cage. Yeah, okay.
Cage.
Thank you. And then they put it on the ground of the lagoon, and then they get crabs and shrimps.
Yeah.
This is a traditional way how to catch crabs. And we do have a very special crab in La Boquilla. It's called jaiba. It's blue. And they make also meatballs of this albóndigas de jaiba. And they also have a jaiba festival, as the donkey festival in San Antero. They have the crab festival here in La Boquilla. And with the ataraya, it's a very, very big net. They throw it like this around, and then they take out different local fishes. And the most impressive thing I've seen here is that the fishermen, they know which kind of fish is passing by, because the superficie of the lagoon is moving differently. If it's robalo, sábalo, mojarra, boca chica, lebranche, all the different local fishes we have here. So the way how they swim, if they swim pointed, or if they swim like in a round formation, or if they swim slow or quick. The superficie is like electrical,
Hmm.
and then it's moving different. And then they say, Nina, I will tell you the second when you throw the net, there's coming this and this fish. I'm not even seeing the fish passing by soon, but they are so professional because they're learning from their children,
Hmm.
and their grandfathers are teaching them, and it's a very beautiful tradition. And we also have another festival. It's the Fisherman Festival in La Boquilla. It's every June. Juan Bautista is the saint. They are celebrating in June, at the end of June, and they have a competition how to throw the nets, to try all the different plates, the crabs and the fishes, and everything. It's a gastronomical traditional fisherman festival.
How are you? How are you throwing the net? How is your skill?
Yeah, not very good. I'm still German, I would say.
Well, I mean, come on, you've got to be better than most people now. You've been there a long time.
Yes,
I
yeah,
wouldn't
but
even
it's
say.
I mean, if you learn it from your childhood, it's
Yeah.
very different.
So this sounds really great, and of course, I guess after the fishing experience, then your guests, your clients, go and eat the fish with the local people and see
Yes.
how it's prepared and everything else.
Yeah, exactly. Then with a woman, first of all, they go out to the lagoon. They put the nasas, they throw the atarayas, the net, and everything. And when they catch what they catch, they go to a kitchen, and all the woman, the family, the daughters, and children and women of the fishermen, they prepare then with the visitors their typical dish: coconut rice, fried cooked plantain, salad, fried fish, then garlic crabs, and it's very delicious. And as we are all at the seaside, directly at the beach, so then they enjoy the lunch at the beach.
So if we take Cartagena as a whole, because we've had a very good look at La Boquilla, what is the ideal sort of visitation time to Cartagena, including La Boquilla, including the obvious destinations within Cartagena itself? Like I would say, for me, it would be unmissable the Castillo San Felipe. I do like going down to the Basurto market, but not everybody likes that. And so
Yes.
obviously you need to find out what your clients are looking for. But what would you say is the ideal vacation time in Cartagena?
Concerning the month,
No. How many days?
how many days? Well, the problem is that the people sometimes stay only 2 or 3 days, and then they just pass by the city center. I think the best idea is to stay 4 or 5 days in Cartagena. Obviously, one day you need to go to the islands. One day you need to go to visit some community projects I just talked about. And you also, in the city center, there are many other things we are offering. It's not only the walking and the city tour. You can also book a tour with the architecture or specialist of art or literature, Gabriel Garcia Marquez, a photographer or pirate specialist talking about the legends and the history of the Francis Drake, John Hawkins, Roberto Ball, Baron de Puentes, all the different pirates passing by Cartagena. So it depends on the interests of the visitors. They can also do in town different tours, graffiti tour, bicycle tour, and we also have a very good gastronomical offer for people, for all the foodies. They would like to have a coconut chocolate workshop, rum tasting, fruit tasting. We also have a spicy tasting with empanadas and hot spicy sauces, cocktail workshop, all these things. That's really interesting. And the most important thing is that the guides are showing their Cartagena.
Yeah.
It's not just the usual city tour. Everything that has to do with traveling with a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
It
Okay.
has to make sense. So the guide is showing his Cartagena, and there are also always some added values that the people like a lot, because you cannot find it on Google, you cannot find it on Get Your Guide, and it's not open to the public because we train them, every guide, all the time. because it's very important that they know who's coming, first of all, and then that they offer a very personalized service. And when the people start to travel with a purpose, they are more aware and more conscious. And the idea is that they never forget what they lived in Cartagena, but in the positive way. Yeah. So it's very important to touch their emotions. And that's our essence and our aim, because just the fact that they are connected with locals, they have the passion to show the most beautiful thing, the hospitality of Cartagena. The people feel the energy, and the people feel that they are connected and they are very welcome. And it's not just a tour, and they don't know how what's their names, and it's just one client, one another client, and it's different because you feel really the beautiful energy of the people.
So, I mean, you're getting at the authenticity, and of course, what travel needs to be these days is experiential.
Yes.
People want to do things, people want to see things, and the experiences that are local that they take home with them. Now, we do need to discuss the flip side of Cartagena's tourism. Could we say that the historic center of Cartagena is over touristed?
Yes, it's over commercialized, and it's over it's a lot of tourism, and in the high season, it's heavy.
It's a lot, isn't it? It's a lot.
It's a lot, and especially on the dates where we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cruise ships in town.
Yeah, it's horrible.
It's difficult to walk around. It's difficult. So when for example Bruce sent an itinerary, and there's a city tour on the 15th of December in the morning, and I check the cruise ship programmation, and I say, Bruce, let's do it in the afternoon, that they can see the streets.
Yeah.
It's not easy because there are big cruise ships companies passing by, and if they have 2,000 or 3,000 passengers on board, and they are 2, 3, 4 ships in town for 6 hours, then you have 10, 15,000 people walking around, and they don't have time. So they move from one side to the other, and we have to go against this mainstream.
Those ships that arrive, those ones that are like, I don't know, 15 stories high, it looks to me like human lasagna, each level. That's what I see it as, a human lasagna, and it's terrifying. The size of those boats is terrifying.
Yeah.
And I have seen photos of 5 arriving, at the same time, the same day, and you're like, Dios mío.
Last year we had one day 7 ships, and this day I took all the people to the islands and to La Boquilla and to Palenque and all the surroundings. Because we have very beautiful villages in the surroundings of Cartagena, for nature, for trekking, for bird watching, and have very beautiful nature experiences here in Usiacurí, in Turbaco, Maria la Baja, and all these villages here around Cartagena. And the best thing you can do, like a day of these, go out of the city center.
Yeah. Hey, you mentioned Maria la Baja. Maria la Baja, obviously, towards the Montes de Maria.
Yes.
Which, of course, it's an area that has been very affected by the violence in Colombia's conflict. Do you speak with local? Because I know that there are some places that you can talk to locals about the experience during the worst years. Is this something you offer as well?
Yes, we have tours in San Jacinto, San Juan de Nepomuceno, San Basilio de Palenque, and Maria la Baja. And Maria la Baja is the only village. They have their own museum to show to the people what was the story of the FARC paramilitary. And as they are talking about their own families living this period, it's a very emotional visit. And they decided to get their therapy like this, and I really only can admire these people who are working in the museum. It's very interesting. And in San Jacinto, in San Juan de Nepomuceno, and San Basilio de Palenque, we are also talking about this with the visitors, because it's in the region that most suffered here at the coast, close to Cartagena. And they are talking about this, because I'm also the director of ACOTOUR, that's the Association for Responsible Tourism in Colombia. And I'm in charge of Cartagena and the department that's called Bolivar. And we always subcontract a local for each visit. So it's not the guide from Cartagena going there showing his village, because it's not his village. But we have somebody on site who's doing the tour, and the local guide, the guide from Cartagena, translates the tour. And it's very important to involve the locals, not only because of sustainability, but also to show the real places, because it's different if I'm talking about Frankfurt or if you're talking about Frankfurt. No, I was born there.
I couldn't tell you anything about Frankfurt. I would be making it all up, and I guess that's the point. I think this is so important because it's obviously Colombia's immediate and contemporary history, and the people lived it and continue in many cases to live it. And you come to Colombia as well because of these elements, not just to see the amazing stuff, but you also come and should learn about what's going on. And of course, when you think of places like Maria La Baja, San Jacinto, and Carmen de Bolivar, a bit further on, obviously so many people from that area were displaced to Cartagena.
Yes.
So therefore you come in, and this brings it in. Is Cartagena obviously is within certain sectors it is an incredibly affluent, so very wealthy area, but then you get, of course, the other side, which beyond certain areas it's misery. I mean, real misery in the and that, of course, if you're not working in, I don't know, the port or in tourism or in some sort of service, it seems almost that you're not working, and that has led to lots of the issues. And you say, the young boys who rap in the streets, and they're quite aggressive, but they're doing what they do, and so you sort of accept it, but it's like, one time, please. One time. If you try, remember, I've already been approached by you 5 times. So how, when you bring your clientele into the center and so on, how do you sort of get them to understand this? Because there's always someone selling you something, or if you're mistakenly at Boca Grande, which I wouldn't personally recommend to anyone, you're always being bothered by someone wanting to give you a massage, sell you a fish, and then someone might turn up with CDs still, and you're like, nobody listens to CDs, but they're trying to sell you anything. How do you keep your clientele happy and sort of shielded from this, but also respecting where these people come from?
Yeah. I need to continue my love story to explain this to you. Bruce already knows.
Come on.
So the thing is that when my first relationship finished and I came back on my own, nobody was responsible for me. I went here because of me. I wanted to be here. And after 1 year, I met my husband. Our daughter is 10 years now, and he's like the local support because I'm still white and I'm still a woman, and it's difficult to handle exactly these kind of people. They need to work something, they need to do something, and that is the reason why we include when we are having tours in the village, in the city center, or in difficult villages. We take some local staff with us, and they are talking to the local people because they're explaining a little bit how our clients would like to enjoy. How they need calmness and not a very noisy environment to be able to enjoy the atmosphere and to observe what is offering right here. So we can give them a small space, but then when it's repeating, then we tell them, your colleague already passed by, and it's just talking to the people. I think the most important thing is to involve them, but in a very healthy doses, not too much, because they are part of it, and they are there, and they also need to earn some money. But they're also coming many from Venezuela at the moment, for example, and sometimes they're not even Colombians, and we just talk to them. We just talk to them and make some agreements and give space for one of the singers or one of the vendors for 2 or 3 minutes if somebody's interesting. And then it's just the way how you need to handle it, because they also need to create their income, and they also exist here. Yeah. And it's important to involve them, but not too much.
Yeah. That's it. It's to acknowledge, accept, and then say, okay, All right, thank you. And of course, the issue with Venezuela is very pressing, very important, and opens up another avenue of conversation. You've been incredible so far, Nina, and we should start winding this down. And I think about the issues of Airbnb and the issues of over tourism quite a lot. And Cartagena comes up, obviously Medellin and El Poblado, and at some point someone will start saying in Chapinero in Bogota. But in Cartagena, for example, do you think is there a movement to try and, I don't know, limit Airbnb and other platforms like that? I saw some of the demonstrations in Barcelona with everyone complaining about being priced out of the areas. Is there a movement in Cartagena around this?
Actually, the mayor of Cartagena, he wants to receive a certification for a sustainable destination. And he just started in January, but he's doing his work and he's changing a lot of things and also restricting many tendencies that has been showed up the last years. So I think they are aware of the situation and they know that it's need to change, because our future is sustainable tourism. The most responsible way how to create tourism involving the locals, and also like cultural exchanges. That's very important, and not only the mass tourism. Cartagena was in danger. I mean, last year, 2 years ago, it was really in danger to be something like Thailand. And I think they recognize and they are doing movements against all these movements.
So it's the mayor is Dumek, isn't it? Dumek Turbay? Yeah,
Yes.
Dumek. He's been a governor of Bolivar as well, and so he knows what's going on. He's a guest in my hotel.
Very nice.
There you go. Anyway, anyway, listen, Nina, it's been fantastic talking to you and hearing all of this. You've given us a really incredible overview of Cartagena from a different perspective,
Yes.
and I think a very important perspective. Bruce, do you have anything to add here?
No, not really. I think Nina covers everything. She's great to work with. I haven't been working with her for forever, but I've been working with her for a while now. Absolutely, Nina and Alternative Travel Cartagena is a great company to work with. If you're not booking directly with me, then definitely contact Nina. I'm sure her contact details will get put online as well, along with this in this podcast. But no, Cartagena it's not just the old city, as Nina said. There's so much more to it. So
I think that's it. And of course, yes, I wasn't going to do that, Bruce. I wasn't going to say, book direct. I was going to say go through BNB Colombia, but she's there, and not everybody's going through you. And so Alternative Travel Cartagena, just put that into Google. Nina will pop up, and you can obviously broaden your experience in Cartagena and have a far more enriching time if you go beyond the old city and go beyond the obvious destinations. Get involved in things that do promote and benefit the local people. Nina, Bruce, thank you so much for your time. This has been a fun episode, an upbeat episode, and I'm always happy to do this. So thank you again.
Thank you.
Thanks, Richard.
This has been a great conversation here on the Colombia Calling podcast. Do look up BNB Colombia Tours if you're looking to book tours within Colombia. And of course, Alternative Travel Cartagena if you're coming to Cartagena. Of course, you can book Alternative Travel Cartagena through BNB Colombia as well. So remember that. I've been Richard McColl for the Colombia Calling podcast here in Bogota, speaking to Nina Schlieper and Bruce McLean. Thank you again, everyone, and goodbye.